Hello. Good boy, Rebs. Go get it, Bliss. Hope you're well on this beautiful day. Hopefully you can hear me. So if you let me know that you can hear me, that would be good. Just checking. I'm turned on. Yep. So yeah, so you can just pop a comment in just to let me know that you can hear me okay. Ooh, it's very warm today. I probably should add that it's quite warm out here because we get quite shelter. So obviously a very short session with the dogs because don't want to get overheated. Rebel's already panting away, aren't you, buddy? Brilliant. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Elaine. Right, just going to figure out which pup we keep out first because trying to do side with two dogs that like middle, you know, is going to be interesting. But we'll work through it and you'll see kind of how we can work through those struggles. But yeah, two dogs who want to go into middle will be a challenge. So I think as Bliss is happily running around chasing sunlight and shadows again. So Bliss, come on. We'll pop Monkey Chops inside. She can just go and chill out. Rebs, come on, in you go. Come on, Rebs. Good girl. Good girl. Come on then, Rebs. So have you all seen the video? Hi, Jamie. Oh, let's just see if I've missed anyone. So, hi, Sylvia. So you've all seen the video. I think I've still got to watch the second half of it actually, so I might be. It's been rather hectic morning trying to collect dog food and do it safely, pick up where everyone was and sanitize and wipe down and gloves on, and yeah, it's a novel experience. Hey Rebel, just to go and get you and Bliss's dinner. Okay, so in terms of side, what are the advantages of teaching something like side? I mean, obviously I teach a lot of middle, but having the dog at your side can be quite useful in certain situations. So again, if you've got a dog walking down the other way and you want to put them on one side, having a good side command, and you can add in, you know, close command, so you can get them really coming in tight, but you can alter the criteria as we go through. So what I'll do is we'll spin round onto the arena and we'll show you with Rebel. He's bound to want to go into middle. So yeah, you'll see it in an interesting sort of style. So just bear with me 1 second. Okay, so hopefully you can see that there's not too much glare off the sun. It is absolutely glorious. So I think if you saw the video, then what we tend to do is we tend to have food in both hands, and what you're going to do is you're just going to kind of lure around, come, and feed in position. Okay, so we've got food at that moment, so we lure around and feed in position. So you can see our Rebel's kind of stepping away and coming back through. So again, we lure around. So he just is getting confused because normally I have middle. So lure around and then drop the food. So lure around. Good boy. Feed in position. Lure around. Feed in position. Okay, and what you're going to do over time, good boy, yes, And I'm adding the yes. Bring him in. Hold him in position. Yes, good boy. And then just hold him in that position for longer. Yes. Yes. Good boy. And then if you want to get it in, we want to then start building duration, we can then hold in position, lure him round, hold him in position, don't drop the food. Yes. Good boy. Lure him round again. Yes. Good job. Then you can just hold him in this position. And if you want him tight, then what you can do is you can actually hold the food back against you here. So it's like, bring him in. Yes. So then you can start getting a really tight position against your leg. And then just, yes. It's a bit like a hand touch, but you're doing it on your thigh. Rebel. See how he wants to come into middle. So again, just keep your legs a bit more closed. Yes. They're around. Yes. And then obviously, once we've done that, we're going to drop the food out of this hand, but still use it as the lure to start with. So again, bring him round. Yes. And then we can start, over time, you're going to start fading the lure totally. So you're going to go. You're supposed to eat him, mate. So again, bring him round. Yes. Yes. So, see how he's getting, because he knows the food's over this side, so he's got to follow it round. Yes. 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 Okay, does that make a bit of sense? See if we've got any questions. Okay, cool. So, did that make a bit of sense? Okay, so what you're going to do over time is you're just going to gradually fade out the lures so that the commands can start taking over, and you can then start adding the word side or whatever you want it to be. I mean, you could add the command close to make sure that the dog knows that it's got to be sort of against your thigh or whatever position you want it in. So if you want them really right against that leg and in a really firm position, sort of looking up. So what we'll do now is we'll probably swap out and see if we can go and get Bliss and see how she can do. Although with this sunlight, she's probably going to charge around. So good boy, well done, Rebs. Come on, Blissy. Good girl. Just thought she was going to go and run straight into the camera then, as is her wont. Okay, so has anyone got any questions at all? Good girl. Okay. Right, so we'll just spin that back around again. Bear with me 1 second. Just move that up. Right, Blissy. Hello, girlie. Come here. So again, food in this hand. So as you can see, this little madam loves the middle. But we're going to try and go lay around. Good girl, yes. Lay around. Yes. Yes. Lay around. Yes. I am rubbish at holding these treats. Well, I should use her bigger slice kibble. It fits in my fingers better. So again, one hand, lay around. And find that's not a lay around. Yes. Lay around. Yes. Lure around. Yes. I know it's not. Just get that out of the way because bit of bark. And then we're going to drop out. Yes, madam. We're going to drop out the lure from this hand. So, Bliss. So I'll try again. Bliss. Yes. 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 And then if you wanted to, obviously you can then go side, 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 and we just add in the cue. But then what I can do is I can start making the side, oh, Bliss, side, yes, side, good girl, side, good girl, wait, Blissy, you doing it? Are you eating it as well? Come, side, side, good girl. And then what you can do as well is the next step from that is obviously go back over some of the other games and also start throwing them together. Okay, so don't be limited to just one. So as you see, you know, I would go out and I'll go into a little bit of thunder. Yes. Yes. And do a little bit of tornado. And we can do a little bit of, so she's going to go that way. Good girl. I'm going to try and see whether I can, yeah. She just doesn't like going that way through. But Bliss, got it. So what I'm going to try and do is go that way. Good girl. Good girl. So you can see she doesn't like that side, she goes to that side, but middle, she goes there. Bizarre. So you can see that we can start throwing in sort of games together, and we can do a little bit of paint the town red. Yes. We can then do some orientation. Yes, good girl. Nope. This. Good girl. Yes, good girl. Yes, good girl. Okay, and then we can go back into side. Good girl. Okay, so you can really start amping it up and start adding in different levels, different behaviour chains. So like I say, the limitation is only on kind of what you put your kind of mind to. But for me, it is absolutely, just bear with me. There you go. I'm just sorry about that. I've got the sun sort of going straight into my my eye. So there is no limitation on what you can do and what you can add to it. For me, it's like just piecing together lots of these behavioural chains so that it doesn't become, oh, we do this today, or we do that. Adding them things together just adds another layer of complexity and just gets the dog focused on you for much longer. And so having fun things like this, particularly, you know, if you're one of those people that unfortunately has, dare I say it, and I hate the word, a reactive dog. It's one of my least favourite sayings in the dog world. Reactivity, to be fair, we need reactivity. You know, if your dog's not going to react to anything, well, to be fair, we're going to have a pretty dull dog. So all dogs are reaction animals. I mean, that's what they are. You know, they live in a world that's all about this moment right now. So stimulus happens, so a car horn goes, car door slams, someone rings the doorbell. That is all a stimulus, and the dogs will then react to that. So by definition, every single dog is a reactive dog. Just that some will give you a reaction to a dog walking down the street. But I can get into lots of sort of different sort of geeky stuff for you and talk about passive coping and active coping, which is just simply the way that an animal chooses to deal with the stress of a situation. So just as a sort of very soft example, most people would prefer a dog that sees a dog in the distance and then just kind of goes and cowers behind their leg and doesn't bark and doesn't lunge and doesn't do anything. Whereas if we have a dog that barks and lunges and pulls forward, we kind of feel a little bit embarrassed and we wouldn't want that. But in actual fact, the one that goes behind the legs and cowers is actually suffering from far more stress, because a passive coper doesn't move and the cortisol level just keeps on rising. So the stress they are feeling, even though it's easier for us to cope with and for us to not feel as embarrassed about, and most people walking past we go, oh, poor dog, that dog is feeling way more stress than the dog that is barking, lunging, twirling, because their activity, their movement is actually lowering the cortisol level. So, you know, it's a very weird thing that us as humans put on our dogs. So when you start to understand that, we can kind of start to say, well, okay, we need to do something with these active dogs, because we don't want to feel embarrassed, but also as a dog community, we also need to understand why. And I'm sure many of you that have seen posts or followed me for a while now will know that people can be so judgmental on a dog that barks and lunges towards someone without actually understanding what's going off for that dog. That dog is, a lot of the time, you know, it can be hyper arousal, it can be hyper excitement, but it can also be just pure out fear. And you know, if a human was suffering fear, we wouldn't look on them so badly. So anyway, but slightly off topic, but these games, you know, what they do is that means that if you've got a dog that is a reactive dog, all you need to do is practice these games at home, practice them in the living room, in the kitchen, wherever, bring them out into the back garden, on lead, off lead, okay? Then we take them out onto the front and we practice them just on our main street, and then we start taking them out into the park, into the woods, onto our walks with us, and start playing these games while we're out. And what that does is it then means that we can start using these as a positive interrupter between the normal stressor situations and start pairing some really good stuff, rather than the stereotypical try and hold the treat in front of the dog's nose while the scary thing approaches, and then once the scary thing is gone, then we try and release the treat. I'll tell you now, that is a complete waste of time. I mean, for me, if I'm working with a dog that is seeing that, I'd rather go, well, okay, you've seen the dog at 100 feet, here's one treat. You've seen the dog at 80 feet, here's 2 treats. You've seen the dog at 60 feet, here's 3 treats. You've seen the dog at 20 feet, here's 5 treats. And the dog's right by you, here's a party. So the closer the dog gets, the higher the value, rather than trying to force the dog to have to cope with the approach. So, but playing the games can just take your dog's mind off that. And often where the greeting chain is broken is on that first sight. If we can get the dog beyond that, the rest of the greeting chain actually still works. It's just that initial bit. So these games are great for those dogs like that. But to be fair, even if you've got a pretty well-rounded dog that doesn't really bother about anything, these games are still fantastic, because they improve your bond, improve your focus, and the dog just really starts, you know, enjoying their life with you. And you can see from what Bliss does, you know, she wants to kind of go in and do that work. You know, she's not being forced to do anything. I'm not dragging her over to me. She's got a choice. But by making the choices fun for her, you know, she enjoys it. So, any questions on side? I mean, it's very similar to middle in a way, and you can manipulate it and do different things. But again, what you can do is, once I've uploaded this, pop some videos beneath it or send them direct via WhatsApp. Happy either way. Let's see what you're doing with your dogs, and then we'll catch up for tomorrow on day 18. All right, and guys, take care.